going to be here for the Winter Wonderland at the station on July the 5th.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it.
Yeah, awesome. We're very much looking forward to warming up in this winter. And I think dance is like the perfect thing for it, really. Well, we have a lot of millennials here on the Sunshine Coast, and they all love EDM.
Why do millennials love EDM? Well, I mean, everyone loves dancing and jumping around. I mean, I'm trying to think about why
Like, was it
like
that decade or something? You know, there was just so much dance music around that time, and yeah, I guess we all just resonate.
Yeah, totally. Well, everyone loves dancing and having a good time, you know, and I remember in the 90s when we were growing up, you know, we were always in the clubs listening to whatever club music and dance music was around at the time. And I don't think that's ever changed, especially in Australia. I mean, we noticed it was a bit hard to find in in places like the US. But then once EDM really kind of blew up in 2008, 2009, 2010, I think dance music's just like the music of the day, isn't it?
Yeah.
And even like pop music these days just sounds like club music a lot of the time.
Yeah. We all need that pick me up. I reckon I had a theory the other day that we should all have about like 10 minutes every day of dancing like no one else is watching. What do you think about that?
Yeah, totally. Gosh, absolutely. I think that'd be a great mental health
initiative,
campaign to get people healthy and get people happy. But no, absolutely. I think any excuse to get out and have a boogie is worth it for sure.
And you guys are really a testament to developing and evolving with the times. If you had any advice for Australian artists who want to balance like being relevant but also staying true to themselves, how do you balance those things?
It can be tough. I mean, because you want to make music that you love, but you also want to make music that, you know, hopefully other people will love too.
Yeah.
And then you also want to make music that's kind of, relevant. And sometimes you're lucky and you kind of just do all those things without thinking. But I think like the first, that's a tricky one, you know, I mean, like, yeah. I think the first rule is always just make stuff that you really like. And we used to always make stuff that we wanted to hear, you know, and make stuff that we wish existed. And then thankfully other people kind of, I guess, felt the same way about it, you know. So that was really, we were lucky.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also, like, it does help to have a tiny bit of an ear for, like, accessibility, you know. You don't have to sort of try and make everything super dumb just to get on the radio, you know. But certainly it doesn't help to have a tiny little bit of that in your back of your mind. Otherwise,
no one will listen.
Yeah, totally. So it's good to think a little bit like that. Like, I think it's good to just kind of, be super creative first, and then put your little kind of thinking cap on and just think, okay, how can I make this a tiny bit more kind of, I don't know, inviting or accessible for people.
Yep. Awesome. And how did you get your big break? Was there like a moment, was it something you were doing in particular that we can pass on to our local artists?
I guess that thing that, like I was saying, like the big breaks, we never really had a big break. You know, we kind of had lots and lots of little breaks.
What were you doing right all the time?
I think, we were making stuff that really excited us. Yeah. And it felt original to us, and it was exciting for us.
Yeah. Okay.
And we always tried to do that. And then, of course, you know, there are moments along the way where you think, oh gosh, if we can finish this song the way I can sort of imagine it being finished, you know, this could be played on, you know, on Triple J, or this could be, you know, people would really enjoy this at our shows, you know. So it's a little bit of just like, you know, just totally making what you really want to hear, and then trying to make it fit in the world.
Yeah, definitely.
But in terms of actual breaks.
Were you gigging lots? Like, was there something you were just always saying yes to everything? What kept you going with it all this time and not sort of just go into other things? Or even if it didn't feel logical to keep going with music, what made you sort of keep going?
Well, it's funny for us. Even when we were like 18 and we first met at like university, music was our main thing. And even though I was working at a pizza place, at the time to subsidise the music, the music was still the main force. And then after a while, I would be teaching piano, and that would help subsidise my music. And then I would be helping other bands and writing for other bands and going on tour with other bands and playing keyboards, and that would subsidise our music. And then eventually the music that we were making was kind of paying for us to do it, but it took a long time to do. But we were always doing it.
Yep.
And I guess that's what I tell young people, like, even if you've got a day job and you're only able to write your lyrics, on the bus on the way to work, or, you're only able to get into the studio on the weekend, or you can have to rehearse on a Thursday night, because everyone's working, you're still doing the thing. And if you just keep doing the thing and keep making music that you think is really good, you're kind of already halfway there. You're very lucky if the success comes.
So do it for a passion.
I can't give you the magic answer.
That's okay.
Success, but I can tell you, that's the magic answer though, how to be, a fulfilled musician.
Definitely.
Sure.
And authentic, and it's kind of all you've got really is yourself at the end of the day.
Yeah, totally. And then, because that's the thing, I mean, with us, like, there was, it's hard work for a long time, a strong belief in what you're doing, I guess a modicum of talent or a modicum of taste, and, being open to things that that you like. And then, being agile enough or kind of energetic or too ready to pounce on opportunities when they come, and saying, like you were saying before, like saying yes to a lot of stuff. Like there were times we'd be on the road overseas for like 4 months, 5 months, missing our friends and family, but opportunities just kept coming that we couldn't really turn down. And eventually, it sort of tipped over into something really successful, but it did take a long time and a lot of different ingredients.
I'll hit you with some fun ones. If you could remix any non-EDM Australian song, which one would it be?
Gosh, that's a good question. When we first started, we would actually set up our synths and drum kit in the studio or in the lounge room, and we actually would do weird synth covers of like AC/DC and Midnight Oil. And
see, that would be so fun.
Yeah, and we'd do like our weird space, weird futuristic synth versions of them, and that was kind of the origin of the presets. Like, that's fun. We loved that feel of that rock music, but we wanted it to sound more futuristic.
Yeah, and Australian.
Like Australian. So songs like Power and the Passion, Midnight Oil, or like, Back in Black, AC/DC, like we do weird synth covers of them, and that was kind of the beginnings of the band.
Oh, cool. That sounds fun. I wish I was a flatmate of yours.
I'm not sure, but there was a few upset neighbours along the way, I can tell you.
Yeah, maybe not flatmate, but good friend. Someone who lived in the street. I don't know. What would you say? Do you have a guilty pleasure song that you secretly love to dance to?
Is there such thing as a guilty pleasure anymore?
I don't know. I think
we're living in the post guilty pleasure.
True.
Era.
That's true.
Because in the old days it used to be like, Lionel Richie or, like Janet Jackson or whatever, but actually Janet Jackson's always been great, but you know what I mean?
Like, the ones you don't want to admit.
Lionel Richie or Hall & Oates. But these days, like, that stuff's considered really cool. So,
maybe Britney. Britney would be slightly guilty. I mean, it's probably my guilty pleasure. My kids like bit of Britney every now and then.
Oh, totally. Well, you know what it's like? It's like jeans, right? If you're my age and you think you're wearing the cool jeans, you're already out of date with what the cool kids are wearing. Like if you're wearing tight jeans, skinny jeans, like all the kids are wearing baggy jeans, and then by the time I buy like baggy jeans, all the cool kids have moved on. Whatever thing I think is cool right now is definitely not the thing that is cool. And I think it's the same with music. Like whatever you think is the daggiest music, like, there's no way that can be back in again. Like, there's no way, like, Spice Girls.
I know, like, that fashion. that you hated.
For sure that, the teenagers are listening to it, so...
Yeah, it's always the thing you never thought would go there again, and there it is.
Totally. And now we're like, I think that period of like nostalgia is getting shorter and shorter. It used to be like a 30-year thing, like music from 30 years ago was cool, and then music from 10 years ago was like throwback.
I just have to let my dad in. He's coming to fix the garage because I'm selling my house. How to boost your DJ sets, what would it be?
Well, honestly, if I had a superpower, I hope I wouldn't be wasting it just trying to improve DJ sets. I think I'd be trying to use it to, fly.
Well, I would do that too. And then I might be buying an even bigger place.
DJ sets can just stay the same quality that they've always been. Congratulations on all that.
Thank you. Yeah, thanks for chatting. It was so nice to talk to you today.
It was. Thanks again. Speak later.
Can't wait to see you. Yeah. All right. See ya.
See ya. Bye.
Bye.